the most dangerous 9 to 5 in America is being a rapper. Even though, good people, this isn't something you can blame on the music. I don't think you could blame this on the music at all. Almost none of these deaths or occurrences of incidents had anything to do with music. You lose a lot of rappers every year. But this is an event that had Snoop and 50 Cent scheduled to perform. This was hosted by Snoop. Where was the security? LA being as bad as it is, where they're telling tourists, don't come here. This was just a week ago. They was like, it's the purge out here. The police is saying, don't come out here if you're a tourist. And you have a LA music festival in the midst of that. And Draco, the ruler, I didn't know who he was. I was looking for Drake one time and came up on Draco. Who is this? He spent 2 years fighting a murder charge that he got acquitted for when another man who was 24 years of age lost his life. And he got acquitted of all charges. Maybe that has something to do with it. We don't know. But whatever ensued, I'm quite sure there's some people who thought he beat a case that probably he should have been going down for. But you never know. There was an alleged fight backstage right when he was getting ready to perform. He was stabbed in the middle of this fight, which left him in critical condition. His improvement, his health improvement did not last long in the hospital, and he ended up dying from his wounds. He was supposed to perform. He was right behind the stage at the LA Explosion Park. It's a crying shame, man. It takes on a whole different level of, man, it's crazy. Shortly after 8:30, they had to shut the whole event down. And that's one thing about people, man. They act like they don't see the news. They don't see what's going on out there. They don't see problems. All these good people who came to see a performance and have a good time, they just do it. They just don't see the danger. Man, I don't know. Like I found Draco one time. I probably heard one song by accident. I was looking for Drake and came across Draco, the ruler. I was like, did I hit too many buttons? It said Drake. No, I don't mess with his music. You know, bringing to the awareness, there's a lot of nonsense out here. It's very jarring, extremely jarring that we at this stage in our, won't say career, but our lives, we are still doing stupid stuff like killing people and attacking with all the stuff that we got to deal with. It's like people don't look at big picture. They say, okay, you get him. Now they got more laws that they could put in place to disrupt what we're doing. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but whatever it is, got nothing to do with rap. You know, rap's gonna take the blow for it, but because he rapped for a living, but this had nothing to do with music. A lot of this stuff that's happening to these artists have nothing to do with music. In LA right now, it's a battlefield, and it shouldn't be. But it's disheartening to see, to say the least. Well, what's up, Don? I see you. Well, Chris, you should know what's going on out there. It's crazy. Snoop was getting ready to perform. He was backstage getting ready to go on, and then they came in and told Snoop about it. It's Snoop event. Snoop just left immediately. Snoop left immediately. When he learned what happened, he left immediately. 50 Cent was supposed to perform. He left immediately. So, where the waves at? If I want waves, I have naturally curly hair. My hair waving like four different directions. I'm reading the chat from my television. There's a white woman on my television riding another white man in some movie that's crazy called Afternoon Delight. Yeah, it's about a married couple. They invite a stripper that they met at the strip club to live with them. And all hell's finna break loose. That kind of story interests me. So I'm gonna check this out. I saw that. I said, let me check this out. Then it's got all these like A-list stars in it. I mean, that's Catherine Hahn. She plays Agatha Harkness. I'm like, Agatha Harkness is out here like this? I don't think Disney saw this. Then Juno Temple is the stripper. Thanks, Matt. Oh yeah, I seen The Harder They Fall. I did a movie review on it and everything. I forgot to do one on King Richard. That's what I gotta do. Man, the blood and crip war again, man. We don't need no wars. But I feel like people are trying to instigate that, like the police are, because they made a lot of money during that time. They're on a frame, but they are wrapped around the frame. Yeah, well, when you have a lot of things in order, yeah, well, that's why we got to rise above the nonsense right now. And people are promoting the wrong things to the world. All this negativity, all this violence, all this nonsense. It's really distracting. It's really causing people to think they can't process anything positive. If you tell them something positive, they want to hear the negative, or they'll turn it into a negative, and they don't even know that they're being negative. It's very weird. So, Somebody's flirting with Don already. Somebody in there flirting with Don. My thing is, y'all try to make stuff territorial war, and it's just unnecessary. Bloods and Crips, and that's not even there. A blood enemy is not his Crip. A Crip is not a blood's enemy. They need to first recognize that. That's not your enemy. It just isn't. That's not your enemy. A Crip is not holding you back from anything. They're not holding you back from your education. They're not holding you back from being a part of society. They're not holding you back and trying to incarcerate you and put you into a economic prison system. They're not doing that. But when the enemy has you guys fighting each other consistently, they're profiting. Your enemies are profiting. One Crip gangbanger was told by a police officer and was listening to them laugh at the doggone crime scene while they were all being detained and going to be questioned. And they said, well, hey, you guys keep doing this work. I keep getting overtime. I could put my daughter through college. Y'all keep this up. But the police officer was saying it not because he was racist and biased. He was saying that to jolt the gangbang. Reverse strategy. So he would feel that. So he would see the bigger picture. And it worked because he quit gangbanging off of that comment right there. He was blind to what was going on around him and didn't realize that, man, how could I not realize that the real enemy is out here making sure they just picking up the pieces. That former Crip gangbanger was out there trying to educate the youth. And this was in the 90s, during the Rampart scandals and all of that. And a white LA police officer who he was like, me and you, we gonna get this done. We gonna help get these communities together. And everyone thought everybody at the police station was white. They must be a bad man or a criminal. Wasn't the case. But there was a lot of bad apples in that department. Starting from the chief of police. And it had been bad for years. Then you had people like Furman, who was on the force and had so many cases against him. It was just awful. So you could see where the enemy really was. But we kept focusing on fighting each other. Then, when the truce happened, when they called a truce, that scared the hell out of the LAPD. But one Crip, a white police officer, and they started a movement that others started to see, which led and grew, and they were all just a part, not the factors. They were a part in causing a truce between the Crips and the Bloods. I think I heard maybe one by accident because, like I said, I was looking for Drake, and Draco the Ruler came up. Other than that, don't know if it's music. But now I know of the tragedy. And what I'm saying is, we're doing this to each other, and there is no such thing as retaliation and revenge. Because you get revenge, it's going to come right back on you. Somebody else is going to get it. The eye for an eye. It's going to leave the whole world with one person with one eye. Everybody going to be blind, but it'll be one guy with one eye left. Like, oh yeah, the police officers definitely did it. They ended the truce. It was in progress for a while, longer than they thought it would last. So what they did was they dressed up as gang members and went out and started doing crimes. And they were police officers and not gang members. But it was assumed that they were gang members, and they went and tagged up people's neighborhoods. They did a whole bunch of dirtiness to end the truce. But we didn't have people in there that could see through this. And the Muslim movement was very huge in LA at that time. You had Dr. What's his name? Khalid Abdul Muhammad, who had brought like all of the rappers in. And most of them would all turn into the Nation of Islam or Muslim, period. It was very huge in the early 90s during the peace treaty, and all of that came to the forefront. So everybody turned to Islam and was reading the Qurans. It was heavy in LA in the 90s. Like, they had the final call out in LA. I'm like, man, I ain't think I'll see somebody selling the final call in Los Angeles. This is wild. Yeah, but it was keeping people out of trouble. I'd rather see somebody reading the Quran and getting into Islam than getting themselves into the prison system, going out there committing crimes, popping pills, doing syrup, just to try to kick it and be cool. Well, when you start learning about yourself, you start learning about your condition. That's to say, what in the world? Why is this happening? And you start learning a lot about the world's history. You start going, wow, this thing's a lot bigger than I expected. And when it's not about this, and it's about other things, then you start to put some knowledge and worth of wealth in your brain. We pulling up. What? Y'all got enough gas money? I mean, this guy literally just, thanks for the super chat, but he literally just came in here to talk about somebody that nobody has spoken about in about 2 months. I'm just like, man, I forgot about that dude. He's like, trolls are sending super chats now. Yeah, man, trolls getting some money. They got a troll union out there now. They'd be like, troll union number, yeah, troll union number 131. I successfully sent 637 of the same messages on the same live stream. All right, yeah, give it up. Troll. Yeah, that's some good work. He got so annoyed, he timed me out, and I waited. And I came back with the same message again. Yeah. That's good trolling, people. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I saw Woodley go down, and that was incredible. Woodley was winning the fight. I felt he was doing all right. He was headbutting, throwing right hands. But when you're not a fighter and you get caught and set up like he got set up, hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah. When we did the last stream yard, we was watching Jackie Brown. We was we was watching Jackie Brown, baby. You know that's my movie there. Jackie Brown gonna be up there. Who picking up trash at night? What the? Oh, that's dude. He gotta get another truck. I've been doing this for a long time. A long time. You in Gardena right now? Yep. But anyway, let me go and watch this thing here and get back to other football games. I'm gonna hit y'all back later on.